controversy between the federal government and the labor union has come to an end as the president signed the minimum wage bill into law on the 29th of July 2024. It is Street Smart on Union Television. Today we'll be considering the topic minimum wage. I am your regular host, Ozi Phoebe, and with me,
Onyinye Eslofo. Hi, Phoebe.
Hi, Onyinye. It's nice to have you today.
Thank you, and I'm super glad to be here talking about money.
Yes, money issue is always very sensitive and it's sweet as well.
Sure.
Finally, the long-awaited bill has been passed into law. You know, there has been so much controversy between the federal government and the labor union. The two parties were not able to come to a compromise. Initially, the labor union was demanding for 250,000, and the federal government was not even able to meet them halfway. And so there was a lot of dragging, there was lots, and then finally, everything has come to rest, and we are glad about it.
Sure, we are. I mean, everybody concerned should be, although some persons might not really be excited about it because it's not really what they want, but it's still about a step in the right direction. And it's even a question of why now? Because they've been asking for this thing since, so why are you doing it now?
Exactly, why now? That is the big question that everybody should be asking. But the major thing here is there was a negotiation and there is agreement. We'll hear from other people to know what they have to say about this. Stay with us.
To talk of the minimum wage is something the government can afford because everything now has increased drastically, and the money people are earning is not enough to cater for their family again. There are resources. If we have good economy, there are ways by which government can do it. There are people we have no minimum wage that will sustain their family. But imagine someone, maybe the person has secondary school start and she's earning 30,000 or 33,000 naira per month, and she has 4 or 5 children that she cater for. Even that 33,000 cannot buy a bag of rice, which a bag of rice might be something they will consume for the family for the whole month. Now talking about other things again, house rent and the likes again. I know it is not good, it won't be fine if the minimum wage is high, because as it's high, it will also affect the economy. So though economists said maybe it will cause inflation and the likes like that, I'm not an economist, but they said maybe it can cause inflation and the likes. Okay, but there are some policies that the government needs to put in place. Even in Nigeria, if they can put in place like all these the estate that we are having now, that they are subsidizing money for people as well. If people are not having issue about their accommodation and it's only feeding they are looking after, so it will be very easy for people to live a better life. Minimum wage is good, but let's see the cost implication as well, the negative effect and the positive effect. Because once they increase the minimum wage now, people outside too will increase everything that they are selling, because as you are earning money, they know you are having money with you, so they will increase everything they are selling too. But if minimum wage is being increased, or we should have a limited amount that will be increased, that will be added to that money. Well, I can't categorically say this is also a amount that they should add, but it is good if they can add little amount to what people are earning, like those civil servants now. But adding money alone is not the best solution. The best solution is putting a good policy at the ground. Do you understand now? Like making the economy a strong one. If the economy is strong, even if it's 10, 20,000 that is being added to the minimum wage too, at least if people are buying something that is lesser, their money that they are earning will be meaningful to them. I can't really say this is the social amount, because me too, I'm earning salary and my salary is not sustaining me. My salary cannot even sustain what I spend within a month.
What I think about it is that as this country is now, we thought increasing money of the workers is the problem, according to their own feel. But according to my own feel, I can tell you that as long as far all these things that they are selling still cost, even if they increase your money, what you are buying is still cost. You will still be in that the same pain. that make you angry that you go on strike. So what I can say is that the first thing that we need is that the increment of the world, or everything that we are buying, it has to come down first. If it come down, even though they're still giving us the same salary, we will be able to do what we'll be able to buy what we want to buy in affordable price. If they increase our salary and the cost of the thing that we are buying is not coming down, definitely we are seeing the same problem. You are giving me 200,000, 300,000 of salary of my work that I have done for you. Then I want to go and buy market of what? Market of 400k. So what am I making? So I don't say anything. What I see is that it's very bad. All the things that they are selling for us is it should come down. If you not come down, then you can talk about that you wanted to increase our salary. That's just my own thinking. Because let's say they increase our salary, for example, now everything that we're buying is still up. So when they increase our salary, what are we making? We are not making anything. We still be in debate, in debit. So God should help us. This country is a country, is our country. We don't know everywhere that we can go. It's only here. But what I can say is that we should tell the president, first thing, the thing has to come down. Second thing, the money that people that are paying your neighbor, let's say a teacher, for example, he has 3 kids. How will he make it when they are giving him 50,000, 100,000 naira? What can he buy? He cannot buy anything now. Even if all our small children that are going to school, 200,000 is not enough to do anything in this country. So our government, we should urge our government, it should please anything that it can do for us, you do it for us. Everybody that we are putting in, we put all of them in the position to help our life, to make our life, to make it okay, so we can be live for comfortable. It's not that we should be suffering. All these kind of things, many people are tired. If they leave the country, everybody should leave this country. At the airport, we should travel for free. Nobody will be in this country because of sufferness. May God help us.
It is something desirable because the cost of living is far above what is presently being paid to workers. It does not, let us say, does not take them home or carry them home. So there is need for that because increase in salary or earnings of workers is a spiritual effect. It will affect production because when there's money, people will buy and companies will be able to produce. That is one effect, but not only just increase in salaries, there should also be efforts to increase production and then cost control in the economy. Like some of us have learned or heard, yearly in South Africa and Ghana, the government will announce transport fare, house rent. You dare not increase it. But in Nigeria, somebody just wake up and increase prices every day, especially the transporters. There's no control, no rule. And that is why no matter even the level of salary that will be paid, the government itself is one evil itself. Through tax, they will start taking the money from the workers even. Because before these salaries are paid or increase is done, already it has been publicized politically. And the market room, everybody is waiting for it. No sooner it is implemented, you see the price of things may go high. So the government has a very large part to play, not just issue of increasing prices. Production, increase in production, and control in prices. I think so far, if they can do that, the workers will be able to stem the hardship. Transport fare, the government promised palliative, but there is none. If the government can provide buses, just like the NNPC is having a few stations almost everywhere now, you see car owners, buses queuing no matter how long because it's cheaper for them to buy. So those are some of the things the government should do, not just issue of salary increase. Well, some states may not be able to pay. Some who are even able to pay, they deliberately do not pay. There is no state that is not giving allocation from the national purse. But the truth is that you will still find that these states will be borrowing and accumulate a lot of debts before the governor or the administration leaves. Where is the money? Where is the money? They don't account for this money. So whether a state, which state you think cannot pay minimum wage? The other thing the labor or government should do, let the federal government set the minimum wage, then let states negotiate with their workers according to their ability, but they are also very unkind to workers. They will not want to do something reasonable. Common, the lady selling gas for somebody in my place in Cherry Oshu here. I think what she's receiving is more than minimum wage. So how will government say they cannot pay? There is money, but we are a wicked type of generation who has no compassion or pity for others. We have worked in the government, but because of certain reasons, we don't talk anyhow. The money is there, but they would prefer to award it for contracts that are not even beneficial just for them to arrange themselves. So these are some of the issues we are facing. If those in authority in government will be sincere, Nigeria will not have all these problems. It is our insincerity and wickedness that is sin that is killing us. That is the truth. But we will not admit. Togo, Ghana, I learned they have one refinery since independence, 1957 or so. And the refinery is working. Nigeria had three after that. How many years? Not too long. But none of them is functioning. But every year, budget will be there for turnaround maintenance. Nothing is maintained. And nobody gives account to nobody. You see, the system is skewed, is bad. No accountability.
Many Nigerians are expressing and they are showing their displeasure over the hardship.
Of course, they should.
Although there were like the minimum wage and all of these that labor union is proposing, according to some persons, that this is not the right time. That first and foremost, the labor union is supposed to address the hardship that is going on in the country. That with this hardship, there is increase in the price of rice, increase in the price of tubers of yam, increase
Everything
in
has increased.
everything. That even if you are paid this money, or even if this minimum wage is being passed into law and is signed into bill, that it will amount to nothing even when you are paid. So before this minimum wage, there should be reduction of the price of goods in the market. And someone said that the way that the prices of things are skyrocketing in the market is becoming alarming, because the little money you are being paid, even when you take it to the market, it can buy next to nothing. That even when the minimum wage comes,
But it's not
it will
really the
not do
fault of
anything.
the people, right?
It's not.
Because it's about the state of Nigeria at the moment.
Yes.
Are we producing? How many people are farming? We don't just say farming and then we're making reference to, oh, I'm farming in my backyard, I'm farming with my flower basin and all of that, or inside buckets and sacks. Can it feed someone else that is not you? Because when you're feeding yourself, there's a limit to which you can do that.
Exactly.
So what about the food we are buying? Because importation of food is very high. We are not producing food anymore. And then companies are leaving because raw materials are expensive. So both raw food and processed food, they are all expensive. It's not about the money now. I feel that's what this person is trying to say. It's not about the money. It's about the economy and the hardship. We don't have food to eat yet. And then you're talking about minimum wage. Even if the minimum wage should go high, the prices of items will still go high, because market women, we know that they've given you more money.
Exactly.
So they should have their own cuts.
Exactly. Now, the private sectors, the government must have set the minimum wage. They will pay what they want to pay. And it is
what they can afford. That's what they are paying.
Exactly.
It's not about what they want to pay. Because if you say what they want to pay, it's going to look as if they have this money, but they don't want to pay it. But it's something that, how much are they making? That's the question for us. How much are they? These people pay heavy taxes to the government. Exactly. So if you're now saying it has to be, do you know what? The minimum wage is like 250,000, and that's the salary for a cleaner. And then there are levels. Can they afford it?
But some of these private sectors, though there are ones that they are bigger than the
Fortune
other
500 companies
they are,
and all
yes,
of that.
there are bigger ones and there are smaller ones. But how many private sectors are willing to pay such money?
No, there are people that are compliant.
Yeah,
we have people that are
considering
compliant.
all that is around them, like you just rightly said, the tax payment for equipment and for other things that is around the sector and organization. Now, after they cater for all those things, they will be left with a little. And remember, private sectors, they are after profit as well, because you cannot just be footing bills and doing all those things, and at the end of the day you are not benefiting anything.
The business will close down, right?
It will crumble. So they need the money, and to a large extent you don't expect government and then individual group of persons, you cannot compare them. So the private, they will do what they can afford. They will not overstretch, but the government will want to a large extent just to satisfy or meet the demand of the people. At this moment, we'll be talking to people out there to hear their views about this. Stay with us.
Okay, in as much as I feel it's needed, it's been long overdue. Yeah, but I feel we are pursuing the wrong thing. Actually, I feel like Labour is pursuing the wrong thing. In as much as increasing minimum wage will help put more money in the pocket of um, we the citizens, we must also understand that if the cost of living continues to increase like the way it will still not match up to anything. We can talk about how much the minimum wage is now as compared to how it was a couple of years back. You can do a conversion of what a minimum wage is to what it was, let's say 3 4 years ago in dollars. It's crazy. It's not even anywhere near what's supposed to be. So I feel what we should be more bothered about is how to reduce the cost of living. In my opinion, I feel the highest, the highest I feel the government should go, if you know we still want to run a government, should not be more than 80,000. First of all, our system of government and cost of government is an issue. If you know the amount you spend on cost of governance in this country, you'll be amazed. We have senators, we have House of Rep members that have 5 6 10 PAs, ADs, and others. They have so many people. We are paying a lot to run this government. So there needs to be a change in all this for us to actually benefit what we want. If we want our money to be spent better, our cost of governance has to be cut. It is too much. We have so many people just benefiting freely from the government. So all these things impact what we get as our revenue, because it's out of our revenue that all these things are done. The first thing that I feel like is long overdue in this country, that should have been tackled since like 2009 or 2010, is insecurity. We knew we were going to get to this point. We knew we were definitely going to get to this point whereby cost of living will be out of out of control. For like 10, 15 years in this country, we've been having steady increase in insecurity, which has led to our farmers not being able to farm. The amount of farm produce that we're getting is not up to 1/10 of what we used to produce as a nation. And that has further led to us having to buy things at crazy rates. I just left the market now, and it's crazy the amount you have to pay to get pepper. It's crazy. Like, all these things count because these are the things we spend money on. The woman selling pepper will tell you that this is what they are getting. This is how bad it is for them to get it. She brings the cost and put it on we the citizens. The person selling food, person selling all these things. Those are the places we spend our money on. So it is not about us just having the money. It's about us being able to spend the money less on things that we can easily buy. There is a bigger scope to all this thing that we are talking about. Not just minimum wage. Minimum wage is just a part of whatever it is that should have been done long time ago. So that's my feel about it.
Ah, well, it's the appropriate time because there is austerity in the land. The hunger is just too much. Talk about the transport fare. Talk about so many things have gone wrong in this country. So it's very, very appropriate for them to increase the workers' wages. After a laborer deserves his wages. Well, I don't know whether they can pay it or not. But the issue is that the money our government are stealing is more than what they are asking for. So they can pay it, I know it. Nigeria has money. They are just packing the money to Oyibo instead of them to allow us to enjoy it. It's just like sending money from earth to heaven. What is God going to do with money in heaven? So that is what our leaders are doing.
Like someone rightly said, that if the minimum wage is increase the way labor is demanding and proposing, that it will not be okay for the economy. And then he said, if the minimum wage is not minimal, if it is increased, like you rightly said before, that those people selling in the market, they are well aware. They are quite aware that there is minimum wage or there is increment. So they too will increase the prices of things in the market. And at the end of the day, what are we going to have? Inflation. You will have enough money, but that money can buy just a little thing. And it's as if we are back to square one. It hasn't really changed anything. So, looking at what the labor union are proposing and the demand they are making, that 250, according to many Nigerians, considering what is happening and then looking at what is ahead, it will not really solve the problem, according to what they are saying. That rather than solving the problem, it's like we are going to begin again.
It's not really about solving the problem. I really think labor is trying to earn a living, right? It's about you being paid money at the end of the month and then you cannot buy anything, or you're earning salary and you're still hungry. It doesn't add up. It's a
Yes.
question of what am I working for? And then you see the people you're working in the same organization with riding exotic cars, and you're wondering, am I not working in the same parastatal as you? So what's the difference? That means this money is there or the money is available. Why am I not getting it? That's the reason for this demand. Well, if we are going to solve the problem now, when we say labor is demanding for increment in the minimum wage, it's a question of how many people are employed,
Yes.
how many people are working. Because if labor is not looking into unemployment, then this request is for a particular group, not for everyone. Everyone cannot benefit from it. And if labor is saying this is what we want, and then a private organization or the private sector, within the private sector, and an organization is saying this is what we can pay, somebody who has been unemployed for a very long time does not even care. Just give me the money, I don't mind. And then the person in the market does not even know that you don't work with the government. The person just feels you're working, there is new minimum wage, so you're getting more money. So I should have a part in this money. It's not solving the problem because people would still be hungry.
Exactly.
And the cost of production in this country is very high. What about the import duty? It's still high. So when they ship in, they are going to work with the figures they have. And these figures don't have any business with minimum wage.
Exactly. And talking about the importation issue, virtually everything, almost everything in the country now is being imported. And this importation is really telling on the prices of things. Prices of things has really skyrocketed, and the common man is shouting. Even the rich these days, they are not left out.
Oh, really?
Everyone is crying. The rich are crying, the poor are crying more. But the question is this: what is the government and even the labor union that is standing for the people, what are they ready to do? They are supposed to stand for the people. And like you said, the market women, they don't care whether you're working or not. And at the end of the day, it is the poor masses or those that are not working.
Even the people who are working will be affected because the money you're earning is not even going to be worth anything. You cannot buy anything. And why is it so? Because there's no price control. People are working and then prices are going high. And some prices will even go higher than the minimum wage. And they will tell you, oh, you've gotten more money, so you shouldn't be complaining.
Exactly.
Why should it be like that? Then there is no change. Does it mean labor would come back to say increase the price again? Maybe we should hear from people what they have to say.
It's long overdue. With the situation currently in Nigeria, I think labor is not even doing enough. I'm not saying Nigerians should take the gauntlet to come into the street because the economy is nothing to write home about. And I don't know what kind of palliative the government is putting in place to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians, because Nigerians are really suffering. Like, look, now I do, because of this, although it's a normal thing, because of the situation in Nigeria, I do multiple jobs. I'm an insurance man. I also sell properties. So if you look at what is happening currently in Nigeria, the minimum wage of the current status quo is nothing at all to write home about. When in the first place, every state is supposed to be economically viable. How do I mean? States are running hand in cap to the federal government to be collecting money when they're supposed to be productive. So what do you expect? Governors will tell you that they don't have money to pay. In the first place, their security vote alone, can they cut it down? A state governor security vote will be in billions. And that governor will be telling us he cannot afford to pay 62,000 naira, 65,000 naira. That's outrageous. In fact, Nigerians, let me be I don't want to be too overexcited. Nigerians should be on the streets, really protesting. If it's in other country, I want to guarantee you, protests would have been happening all over the places. But because I don't think we are docile, maybe because we have this mentality that we've seen civil war before, everybody is trying to be on their own because we don't want things to escalate beyond what it is now. So, if the state's governor, they are telling us they cannot pay, they are insane. I need to use that word. They are insane. They can pay.
If they continue, I think we'll get there. Everything is so expensive these days, and the amount they are collecting is very small. The president should just do something about it. So once the salary is being increased, I think people will be fine with that. They should continue. They shouldn't stop. I guess so. Not just Lagos State. I think everything is general. As in the way things are expensive here, that's how it is in Oyo State. I think, yeah, it's a general problem. So they should increase it generally. I don't think they are telling us the truth. They don't have the same capacity. They don't have the amounts. Like they don't have the money to pay the laborers, as in to increase their salary. But the governors, the presidents, all these federal governments, whatsoever they are in the state house, are they not making money? Did they bring down their own salary? No, they earn money every day, even wardrobe allowance, they get it. We are not getting anything. So they should be able to. So all this one, they are saying that other states cannot afford. They are lying to us. If everybody should come out and fight, I'm sure things will change.
The problem of price control in Nigeria is very alarming. There are so many bodies in some parts of the country that regulate prices of things, but in some parts it's not like that.
In what part are they even regulating?
Like in some parts in Abuja, there is regulation of price.
Okay.
There are some prices that we add that we tell people in this particular area, maybe spare parts or equipment. There are government regulatory bodies, and then there are group of persons who come together to form this, and then they will now visit these shops one after the other to make sure they are selling at that particular price.
Like an association.
Like an association. If you sell above that price and it comes to their notice, because there are times that people report them. If they have evidence, they report them and they make sure they bring you to law. Now, if this is done, if we have these in a very large scale, like maybe the different states of the federation, it will really check people. And there are towns, I know particularly of a town in Benue State, that prices of things, even as little as tomato, as pepper, and some other condiments in the shop, there are prices that you will have to sell those things. If you sell above it and it is brought to their knowledge, they make sure they arrest you and then you pay a fine. Now, when such laws are put in place, people will become conscious of extorting money from people.
But you
all
know there
in
are
the name
times
of selling.
you know there are times when you buy products and the price is even stated on it.
That's price tag.
They have a price tag.
Yes.
And then you're buying that product higher than the price tag on it.
Yes.
And then they will tell you that the company has not rebranded because the company is now selling higher than when they were working with this price.
They are
So
simply using language to
it's not
confuse
about
you.
the language really, because honestly, you understand that the prices are going high.
Yeah.
Probably now the company is selling to distributors and then these distributors are reselling, or probably distributors sell to wholesalers, wholesalers are now selling to retailers. You know, the price that this person is buying it at, the person will now add, probably you've factored your cost. So there is a price increment, you have this amount you're selling it for so that you can profit because you're also in business. And then you sell it to the wholesaler factors cost. And then the wholesaler sells it to the retailer now factors cost. So you expect the retailer to sell at XYZ amount. The retailer cannot be selling as the wholesaler. So it is from the production point. What is your channel of distribution? And how sure are you that it is getting to the person who would sell to the retailer at a very affordable cost as planned? So it doesn't look like this thing is 70 naira and I am buying it 100 naira. And everywhere you go to, they tell you 100 naira is the price, but the price tag is 70 naira.
Yes, no, there are shops like that they sell at wholesale price, and there are other shops that are retailer, they sell at retail price. People are well aware of that. And then when you have such a regulatory body, you will know those people that are retailers and you will know those ones that are wholesalers. Now, it is left for you to go to where you feel you can afford.
Wow, that means retailers should not be eating again.
No, they
because
will.
everybody is supposed to be buying from the wholesalers.
They have their customers.
Interesting. Let's hear what people have to say, though.
All right.
I'm 100% supporting Labour that they should keep up with the strike until they increase the minimum wage, because inflation is increasing every day. Things are going high on a daily basis. Today you want to buy something of 50 naira, next day is 200 or 400. Everything is simultaneously is increasing so in a very multiple way. So I'm 100% in support. They should continue the strike, they should continue the fight, because what these politicians are collecting on a daily basis, even their lunch money is far. How much is the 100,000 compared to, because at the end bag of rice is not even up to how much is. They should just consider we massive, but they are not considering us. Personally, I don't believe there's any poor state in Nigeria, because we each state don't actually don't control they don't have control of full of their resources. The federal government has a huge hand in controlling each other's every state, and that's why they pay them allocations. Okay, so even Lagos state, each state federal government has a way of controlling people's resources. Even in Niger Delta, everybody. So I don't want to believe that there's something like poor. As far as everything goes to the center should have a way to support all the governors of the state in order to make sure that the minimum wage goes round.
It is really very interesting to know, talking further about this minimum wage. You know, the concerns of so many states of the federation before is how will the states be able to pay? Some states are not as buoyant financially, and then some states, their scope is small. How will they be able to pay this minimum wage?
And they can pay from their federal allocation, and that's what people outside
Of
say.
course, yes, that
They have
can
money
pay.
that government is giving them.
And then some say from tax, the tax that people pay, that they can sum it together.
I think
and use
states
it
should
to
look
pay
for ways to generate money.
money. Yes.
Yes. It's possible for you to generate money.
Exactly.
So you should look for ways to generate
Generate
money
money.
and then be able to pay people working for you.
Yes. There are states that have industries. There are states that have businesses. Even these tax we are talking about, they collect from markets and other organizations. Even these road transport
Yeah.
workers, they collect.
Even the truck pushers, they
Yes,
pay.
they pay. So if they bring this money together, it can amount to something. But the present good news is that the federal government has agreed that it will assist the state government in the payment of the minimum wage. But we trust the government that at least they will not fail us.
We are proud that they already implemented
Yes.
this.
In short, for them to say it alone, it is something big. It means a lot. To implement, we know that they will definitely implement it. So it is good news that the federal government has signed the minimum wage bill into law and is going to be implementing it soon. And Nigerians should be smiling, especially workers. We are happy that the federal government is taking the move in the right direction. This is where
we draw the curtain for today on Street Smarts. For more interesting episodes, follow us across all our social media platforms. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Until we see you again,
Keep watching Street Smarts on Union Television.